Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of resilience and rationality, has inspired countless individuals to lead calmer, more virtuous lives. But beneath its celebrated principles lies a shadow side that often goes unexamined. From emotional suppression to the dangers of moral absolutism, Stoicism's rigid adherence can sometimes hinder personal growth, empathy, and social responsibility. Join us as we explore the untold challenges of Stoicism and discover how a balanced approach can unlock its true potential for a meaningful life. The perils of rigid Stoicism. Stoicism, the ancient Greek philosophy renowned for its emphasis on self-control, rationality, and resilience, has long been lauded as a powerful tool for personal growth and well-being. However, as with any belief system, the potential for dogmatic adherence and the subsequent dangers it poses cannot be overlooked. Suppressing emotions. A double-edged sword. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea of controlling one's emotions and not being swayed by the vicissitudes of life. While this approach can undoubtedly provide a sense of stability and inner peace, it also carries the risk of emotional suppression. By consistently denying or minimizing the expression of emotions, individuals may inadvertently numb themselves to the full range of human experience. This can lead to a detachment from the very essence of what makes us human, potentially hindering personal growth and the ability to form meaningful connections with others. The perils of intellectual arrogance. Stoicism's emphasis on reason and logic can sometimes manifest as a form of intellectual arrogance, where adherents believe they have a superior understanding of the world and how to navigate it. This attitude can lead to a dismissal of alternative perspectives and a rigid adherence to Stoic principles, even in the face of contradictory evidence or changing circumstances. Such an approach can stifle critical thinking, limit the exploration of new ideas, and prevent individuals from adapting to the ever-evolving complexities of life. Neglecting emotional and psychological needs. In the pursuit of emotional control, Stoics may neglect the deeper emotional and psychological needs that are fundamental to human well-being. While the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency and resilience is admirable, it can also lead to a denial of the need for support, empathy, and vulnerability in times of distress. This can result in a sense of isolation and a diminished ability to cope with life's challenges, ultimately undermining the very principles Stoicism seeks to uphold. Rigidity in the face of change. The Stoic emphasis on accepting and embracing the present moment can, in some cases, lead to a rigid and inflexible approach to life. While the ability to adapt to changing circumstances is a hallmark of Stoicism, dogmatic adherents may struggle to navigate the dynamic and unpredictable nature of the world. This can result in a failure to adjust to new realities, hindering personal growth and the capacity to seize opportunities that arise. Neglecting personal development and growth. In the pursuit of Stoic ideals, individuals may inadvertently neglect their personal development and growth. By focusing solely on the cultivation of virtues like courage, temperance, and wisdom, they may overlook the importance of exploring their own unique talents, passions, and aspirations. This narrow focus can limit their ability to actualize their full potential and find fulfillment in their lives. Stoicism, with its profound insights and time-honored principles, has undoubtedly enriched the lives of countless individuals. However, the dangers of dogmatic adherence to this philosophy cannot be ignored. By recognizing the importance of emotional expression, embracing diverse perspectives, addressing psychological needs, adapting to change, and fostering personal growth, individuals can harness the power of Stoicism without succumbing to its potential pitfalls. A balanced and nuanced approach, one that acknowledges both the strengths and limitations of Stoicism, can lead to a more vibrant, fulfilling, and well-rounded life. Stoicism's limitations in emotional expression and personal growth. The dark side of Stoicism. Emotional repression and personal growth limitations. Stoicism, the ancient Greek philosophy that emphasizes self-control, rationality, and the acceptance of one's circumstances, has long been praised for its practical wisdom and ability to help individuals navigate life's challenges. However, a closer examination reveals that this philosophical approach may also have a dark side, one that can potentially hinder emotional expression and personal growth. Emotional suppression and Stoic detachment. At the core of Stoicism is the idea of emotional detachment, the belief that one should strive to remain calm and unperturbed in the face of life's ups and downs. While this can be a valuable coping mechanism in times of stress or adversity, it can also lead to a problematic suppression of emotions. Stoics are encouraged to view their emotions as fleeting impressions, to be observed and accepted but not indulged or given undue attention. This emphasis on emotional detachment can inadvertently create a culture of emotional repression, where individuals feel compelled to hide or deny their true feelings. Rather than acknowledging and processing their emotions, Stoics may internalize them, leading to a sense of disconnect from their inner world and a diminished capacity for self-awareness and personal growth. The limitations of Stoic resilience. Stoicism's focus on resilience and the acceptance of one's circumstances can also be a double-edged sword. While this approach can indeed help individuals weather life's storms, it can also lead to a lack of personal agency and a resignation to one's perceived lot in life. By encouraging the acceptance of external events as beyond one's control, Stoicism may inadvertently discourage individuals from actively shaping their own lives and pursuing personal growth. Furthermore, the Stoic ideal of the wise and virtuous individual can create a high bar for self-improvement, potentially leading to feelings of inadequacy or a sense of failure if one's personal growth does not align with this idealized vision. This can stifle the very self-exploration and personal development that Stoicism claims to foster. The role of emotion in moral development. Stoicism's emphasis on reason and logic over emotion can also have implications for moral development. Emotions such as empathy, compassion, and a sense of justice often play a crucial role in our moral decision-making and our ability to connect with others. By downplaying the importance of these emotional faculties, Stoicism may inadvertently limit the depth and nuance of an individual's moral reasoning and ethical behavior. Moreover, the Stoic focus on self-sufficiency and detachment from others can potentially lead to a lack of concern for the well-being of one's community or a diminished sense of social responsibility. This can be at odds with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with the broader human collective, embracing a balanced approach. While Stoicism offers valuable insights and practical wisdom, it is essential to acknowledge its limitations and potential drawbacks. By recognizing the importance of emotional expression, personal growth, and the role of emotion in moral development, individuals can adopt a more balanced and holistic approach to self-improvement and living a fulfilling life. This may involve incorporating other philosophical or psychological perspectives that complement the strengths of Stoicism, while addressing its shortcomings. A synthesis of Stoic principles with approaches that emphasize emotional intelligence, self-exploration, and compassionate engagement with the world can lead to a more well-rounded and enriching personal and spiritual journey. The dark side of Stoicism lies in its potential to suppress emotions, limit personal growth, and overlook the role of emotion in moral development. By acknowledging these limitations and embracing a more balanced approach, individuals can harness the valuable insights of Stoicism while fostering a deeper understanding of themselves and their relationship with the world around them. Ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity in Stoic philosophy. Exploring the ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism, the ancient philosophical tradition, is often lauded for its emphasis on virtue, rationality, and self-control. However, a closer examination reveals a more complex and nuanced perspective, one that grapples with ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity. This article delves into the darker aspects of Stoicism, exploring the potential pitfalls and controversies that lie beneath the surface of this influential school of thought. The Stoic ideal of the sage and the challenge of moral perfection. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the concept of the sage, the ideal Stoic who has attained a state of moral perfection and emotional equanimity. This figure, often revered as the embodiment of Stoic virtues, is expected to navigate the complexities of life with unwavering reason and detachment. Yet, the pursuit of such a lofty ideal can lead to ethical dilemmas. The Stoic sage is expected to remain indifferent to external circumstances, including the suffering of others. This stance has been criticized as a form of moral detachment, where the Stoics' focus on personal virtue overshadows compassion and concern for the well-being of others. The Stoic acceptance of fate and the potential for moral complacency. Another core tenet of Stoicism is the idea of accepting one's fate and the events that are beyond one's control. While this philosophy can foster resilience and equanimity in the face of adversity, it has also been accused of promoting a form of moral complacency. By emphasizing the acceptance of fate, Stoicism can be interpreted as a justification for the status quo, even in the face of injustice or oppression. Some critics argue that this stance can lead to a passive acceptance of societal problems, rather than a proactive engagement in addressing them. The Stoic emphasis on virtue and the potential for moral absolutism. Stoicism's emphasis on virtue ethics, which prioritizes the cultivation of moral character over the adherence to a set of rigid rules, has been both praised and criticized. On the one hand, this approach encourages individuals to internalize ethical principles and develop a deep understanding of morality. However, the Stoic pursuit of virtue can also lead to a form of moral absolutism, where the Stoic sage is expected to embody a perfect and unwavering moral standard. This can create a sense of moral superiority and a lack of empathy for those who struggle to live up to the Stoic ideal. The Stoic concept of cosmopolitanism and the potential for exclusion. Stoicism's concept of cosmopolitanism, which envisions a global community of rational and virtuous individuals, has been praised for its universalist vision. However, this idea has also been criticized for its potential to exclude or marginalize those who do not fit the Stoic mold. The Stoic emphasis on reason and self-control can be seen as a form of cultural elitism, where certain individuals or groups are deemed more worthy of moral consideration than others. This can lead to a sense of moral exclusivity and a failure to address the diverse needs and perspectives of all members of the human community. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue, rationality, and self-control, has undoubtedly made significant contributions to the history of ethical thought. However, as this article has explored, the Stoic philosophy is not without its own ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguities. By acknowledging these complexities, we can engage with Stoicism in a more nuanced and critical manner, recognizing both its strengths and its potential pitfalls. This approach allows us to draw upon the valuable insights of Stoicism while also addressing the ethical challenges it presents, ultimately fostering a more thoughtful and inclusive understanding of moral philosophy. The pitfalls of Stoic detachment and indifference. The perils of Stoic indifference. Stoicism, the ancient Greek philosophy that emphasizes virtue, reason, and the acceptance of one's fate, has gained significant popularity in modern times. However, the dark side of Stoic detachment and indifference is often overlooked. While the principles of Stoicism can be valuable in managing life's challenges, taken to an extreme, they can lead to a range of emotional and psychological pitfalls. The risks of emotional detachment. One of the fundamental tenets of Stoicism is the idea of emotional detachment, or the ability to maintain a calm and rational mindset in the face of adversity. While this can be a useful skill, it can also lead to a diminished capacity to experience and express emotions. Stoics are often encouraged to suppress or ignore their feelings, which can result in a profound disconnection from their inner lives and the emotional experiences of others. This emotional detachment can have far-reaching consequences. It can hinder the development of meaningful relationships, as Stoics may struggle to empathize with the emotional needs and struggles of their loved ones. Additionally, the suppression of emotions can lead to a lack of self-awareness and personal growth. as individuals may become disconnected from their own emotional landscape and the valuable insights it can provide. The dangers of indifference. Closely related to emotional detachment is the concept of indifference, which is often promoted within the Stoic philosophical framework. Stoics are encouraged to cultivate a sense of indifference towards external circumstances and events that are beyond their control. While this approach can provide a sense of inner calm and resilience, it can also lead to a concerning level of detachment from the world around them. This indifference can manifest in a lack of concern for the suffering of others, a disregard for social and political issues, and a reluctance to engage in meaningful action to address injustice or promote positive change. By adopting a stance of indifference, Stoics may neglect their responsibility to contribute to the betterment of society and to stand up for the rights and well-being of those who are marginalized or oppressed. The limitations of Stoic self-reliance. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-reliance and the ability to find fulfillment within oneself, rather than seeking external validation or satisfaction. While this can be a valuable mindset, it can also lead to a sense of isolation and a reluctance to seek support or assistance when needed. In the face of significant life challenges or mental health struggles, Stoic self-reliance can prevent individuals from reaching out for help or engaging in the kind of introspection and self-exploration that can be essential for personal growth and healing. This can ultimately lead to a deepening of existing problems and a reduced ability to navigate the complexities of life. Balancing Stoicism with emotional awareness. The pitfalls of Stoic detachment and indifference do not negate the value of Stoicism as a philosophical framework. Indeed, many of the principles of Stoicism, such as the focus on virtue, the acceptance of one's circumstances, and the cultivation of inner tranquility, can be profoundly beneficial. However, it is essential to find a balance between the Stoic ideals and a deeper engagement with one's emotional life and the world around them. This may involve cultivating a greater sense of empathy, a willingness to confront and process difficult emotions, and a commitment to social and political engagement. By acknowledging the potential downsides of Stoic detachment and indifference, individuals can strive to embrace the wisdom of Stoicism while also maintaining a connection to their innermost feelings and a sense of responsibility to the broader human community. This balanced approach can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life, one that is grounded in the principles of Stoicism while remaining open to the richness and complexity of the human experience. Stoicism and the neglect of social and environmental responsibilities. The challenges of Stoic detachment. The philosophy of Stoicism has gained significant attention in recent years, with many individuals drawn to its emphasis on emotional control, virtue, and self-discipline. However, the dark side of Stoicism is often overlooked, particularly when it comes to the potential neglect of social and environmental responsibilities. Stoic detachment and social obligations. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the idea of detachment, the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of life's challenges. While this can be a valuable skill, it can also lead to a sense of apathy or indifference towards the suffering of others. Stoics are encouraged to focus on their own personal growth and the cultivation of virtue, often at the expense of engaging with the wider social and political landscape. This inward focus can manifest in a lack of concern for social and humanitarian issues, such as poverty, inequality, and injustice. Stoics may rationalize their lack of involvement by arguing that these issues are outside of their control and that the only thing they can truly influence is their own thoughts and actions. However, this perspective can be seen as a form of moral abdication, where individuals abdicate their responsibility to contribute to the betterment of society. Stoicism and environmental sustainability. Another area where the dark side of Stoicism may be evident is in the realm of environmental responsibility. Stoics are often praised for their ability to live simply and consume only what they need, but this can also lead to a lack of concern for the long-term impact of their actions on the natural world. The Stoic emphasis on self-sufficiency and detachment from material possessions can sometimes translate into a disregard for the larger environmental consequences of individual and collective behavior. Stoics may argue that the natural world is ultimately beyond their control and that they should focus solely on their own inner state of being, rather than engaging in environmental activism or sustainable practices. However, this perspective fails to recognize the interconnectedness of human well-being and the health of the natural environment. By neglecting environmental responsibilities, Stoics may be contributing to the very challenges that threaten the long-term sustainability of our planet and the well-being of future generations. Toward a more balanced Stoicism. While the principles of Stoicism can offer valuable insights and tools for personal growth and resilience, it is essential to recognize the potential pitfalls of an overly detached or apathetic approach to social and environmental issues. A more balanced Stoicism would acknowledge the importance of civic engagement, social responsibility, and environmental stewardship as integral to the pursuit of virtue and the cultivation of a meaningful life. By recognizing the ways in which our individual actions and choices can impact the larger world around us, Stoics can find ways to integrate their personal growth with a sense of social and environmental accountability. This may involve engaging in community service, supporting social justice initiatives, or adopting sustainable lifestyle practices that minimize one's ecological footprint. Ultimately, the challenge for Stoics is to find a way to balance the inward focus of personal development with a genuine concern for the well-being of others and the natural environment. By doing so, they can harness the power of Stoic principles to create a more just, sustainable, and compassionate world. Conclusion. While Stoicism has been praised for its practical wisdom and ability to help individuals navigate life's challenges, the philosophy also has a darker side that is often overlooked. The dogmatic adherence to Stoic principles, the limitations in emotional expression and personal growth, the ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity inherent in the philosophy, the pitfalls of Stoic detachment and indifference, and the neglect of social and environmental responsibilities all point to the need for a more nuanced understanding of this ancient school of thought. The dangers of dogmatic adherence to Stoicism. One of the key criticisms of Stoicism is its potential for dogmatism. The philosophy's emphasis on virtue, rationality, and self-control can lead some practitioners to adopt a rigid and inflexible approach to life. This can result in a lack of empathy, an unwillingness to consider alternative perspectives, and a refusal to adapt to changing circumstances. When taken to an extreme, this dogmatism can lead to a form of intellectual arrogance, where Stoics believe they have all the answers and are immune to the emotional and psychological struggles that plague the rest of humanity. Stoicism's limitations in emotional expression and personal growth. Another aspect of the dark side of Stoicism is its perceived limitations in emotional expression and personal growth. The philosophy's emphasis on the cultivation of emotional detachment and the suppression of passions can be seen as a form of emotional repression, where individuals are encouraged to deny or repress their feelings rather than to engage with them in a healthy and constructive manner. This can stifle personal growth and self-exploration, as individuals are unable to fully confront and navigate the complexities of their own emotional landscapes. Ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism's emphasis on virtue and the pursuit of the greater good can also lead to ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity. The philosophy's focus on the individual's responsibility to act in accordance with reason and virtue can sometimes come into conflict with more nuanced ethical considerations, such as the rights of others, the need for social justice, or the complexities of real-world decision-making. This can result in a kind of moral absolutism, where Stoics may be unwilling to consider the shades of gray that often characterize ethical quandaries. The pitfalls of Stoic detachment and indifference. The Stoic ideal of emotional detachment and indifference to external circumstances can also be seen as a potential pitfall. While this approach can be useful in helping individuals maintain a sense of equanimity in the face of life's challenges, it can also lead to a disengagement from the world around them. This can manifest in a lack of empathy, a failure to recognize or respond to the suffering of others, and a general indifference to the social, political, and environmental issues that shape the world in which we live. Stoicism and the neglect of social and environmental responsibilities. The Stoic emphasis on individual virtue and the cultivation of personal resilience can sometimes come at the expense of a broad concern for social and environmental responsibilities. While Stoics may argue that their philosophy encourages individuals to act in accordance with the greater good, the reality is that the philosophy's focus on the individual can sometimes lead to a neglect of the systemic issues and collective challenges that confront humanity as a whole. This can result in a form of ethical myopia, where Stoics are unable or unwilling to see the broader implications of their actions and the ways in which they are connected to the well-being of the larger community. While Stoicism has much to offer in terms of its practical wisdom and its ability to help individuals navigate life's challenges, it is important to recognize the darker aspects of the philosophy. By acknowledging the potential dangers of dogmatic adherence, the limitations in emotional expression and personal growth, the ethical dilemmas and moral ambiguity, the pitfalls of Stoic detachment and indifference, and the neglect of social and environmental responsibilities, we can strive to develop a more nuanced and balanced understanding of this ancient school of thought. Only by confronting the shadow side of Stoicism can we hope to fully harness its transformative potential and use it to create a more just, compassionate, and sustainable world.